What is up, YouTube? This is Black Betty Rambalam. Today, I wanted to do a brief discussion on tires. I did a good amount of research when I was trying to decide on new tires. My factory tires made it about 30,000 miles, which isn't horrible, but I knew that I wanted to go with something a little bit more aggressive and a little bit larger than what I had stock. So this is what I went with. Okay, so these are Cooper Discoverer AT3 XLTs. Okay, they have a good tread on them, nice sidewall tread, good tread. I've put about 30,000 miles on them, 35,000 miles on them. In the almost year I've had them, they have been the smoothest ride I have ever had. They don't make any hums or growl as I'm going down the road or humming, any of that. They ride smooth. I have never had any issues with slipping in the rain. They do okay in the snow. I was driving with my dad and we went up into the hills, and we had about 18 inches, 2 foot of snow. Did have some slipping, even in 4x, but it did okay. So the size that I went with are, I went with 35s, so from ground to top of the tire, 35. Tires 12.5 by size of the wheel, 20. So these are stock wheels. I haven't found the right wheel yet to replace these down the road, and quite frankly, I like the style of them. I think they're bold, simple, bold. They will be getting color match wrapped here hopefully in the next month or so, just because I do not want to paint chrome, and I still have not found the right wheels that I'd be okay paying an exorbitant amount for. Nothing's really wowed me exactly for the truck. So the reason I went with this size tire, I wanted something larger to fill up the wheel well. So I wanted to fill this gap a bit. I wanted something wider that gave me a little bit of stance. So you can see on the side, give me a little bit of stance, as well as I wanted some tire so that if I was coming up next to a curb, the tire would hit the curb or a rock or anything before it hit the rim. Personally, I do not like the look of a banged up rim. Unfortunately, the tire place I've taken the dealership that did tire rotations on my truck dinged up my rims. I'm not happy about that. But I don't know which dealership it was because I didn't notice it till after the fact. But anyway, so the wheel is a stock 20-inch wheel. I think it's 10 inches wide, 10.5 inches wide, I don't recall. However, the big question that everybody asks online, and you'll get varying answers like I did: how big tire can I fit onto my truck without lifting or rubbing or trimming or whatever? From what I've heard, I wouldn't go more than like a 33 tall. Okay, so for my setup, to get everything to fit properly, I had to do 2-inch spacers up front to bring the truck level. Now I will be getting a 6-inch lift here in the next couple weeks, which it'll get rid of this small gap. It'll give it another several inches, probably it would be about 6-inch gap there, instead, or an additional 6 inches, so about yay. I don't know how this is going to look with that kind of a lift, but I did that. I also put on 3/4 inch wheel spacers all around. I know that a lot of people are, poo-poo that. However, I did not want to rub my upper control arm. So if you look back here, right here, without the wheel spacers, I would be rubbing these components back in here, which is not good. So I did 3/4 inch spacers. You really only need them in the front but I didn't want to have this more narrow look in the back, so I put them all the way around. I also have done quite a bit of trimming, which once the 6-inch lift comes and gets installed, I will be replacing my wheel well liners. So basically, this is really simple to do. I kind of did it on the fly. I don't know if you can see that back in here, but I trimmed this out. You can actually just use a razor knife. Does the trick. I also had to trim up front here. Okay. Now the reason why that looks like such a hack job, and I'll show you the driver's side really quick. Okay. Total hack job under there. However, there's a reason. As you drive down the road, or as soon as you trim the plastic, you lose the rigidity or the strength of the plastic, and therefore when you start going over 70, the plastic folds in, rubs on the front of the wheel, and buzzes and is really obnoxious, and it just rips the plastic up. So anytime I would hear that rubbing, I'd get out, take my knife, slice a chunk off, and I still can't seem to get it all the way off. When you're driving just in a straight line or really mild curves, you don't need to do trimming. However, if you are in a metropolitan area or going to be parking in parking lots, or heck doing anything more than like a 20-degree turn, you're going to have to trim. You're going to have rubbing, especially at full lock. Even with the trimming that I have done, I still get rubbing at full lock. I just can't figure out what part is rubbing. I've looked for rub marks on the plastic and wear marks, but I haven't found it yet. So my recommendation would be either more than just a level on 35s. So I'd suggest a 3-inch, 4-inch lift, something like that, or a smaller diameter tire or a shorter tire. So not necessarily a 35-inch, but maybe stick with about a 33 or so. As well as I would definitely keep the wheel spacers. I think they give it some nice stance. And then if you are going to do some trimming, make sure that you put something behind the plastic and affix the plastic to it, of the splash guard, fender, whatever the plastic's called. It's escaping me at the moment. To give it some rigidity and stabilize it so that it does not bend when you're on the freeway and rub the bejesus out of your tires and make this heinously embarrassing sound. So that's my review. On the Cooper Discovery or Discoverers, they are an all-terrain tire, so they're a little bit more aggressive and larger than a regular street tire if you're going to put a 35-inch street tire on there, because with that larger tread, it is a little bit larger than just a 35. Also, if you are going to increase the size of your tire, do expect to tank on your mileage. I lost a good amount, especially when I go over 65. So keep that in mind. Oh, there she is. There she is. All right. Have a good one. Hope this video helps. If you have questions, comment below. Have a good one.